Yeah, this is a book I do through Comixology Originals. It's called Grave Danger. It is basically a fusion of espionage and horror elements. It's about a character whose code name is Grave Danger. Page 3 opens right into the middle of the action again. It's the face of a Mexican mummy, which is a real thing, but these are animated and they're stumbling around. So we open right up on the mummy's face, and then we pull back and we see we're behind a grocery store in Mexico, and there's all this like rotting food around, and these mummies have gotten out of their shipping containers, and they're holding a gun against the head of some of their hostages. And the hostages are a bunch of young women, and then all of a sudden the women are begging, and all of a sudden out of nowhere a stick shaped like a cross hits one of the mummies in the face and blows its head up.
The cool thing is this is a great page turner type page to draw. So that's what I see immediately. It's just a lot of cool action. It's immediately clear to me which one's the big panel, and it's immediately clear to me which ones are smaller. With Jamal, I think this is pretty much what I would draw, basically. Yeah. I was gonna do the same thing. I think if you start out with the big main panel, which is the establishing shot, that one takes the most space. So that one you kind of consider first, and the other ones are kind of like satellite panels that kind of like refer to that one. Okay, the first thing I noticed about Jerry's, it's I guess because we're all kind of solving the same problem. It's similar. But his instead is a square instead of a circle, and he's keeping things pretty much inside the panel board. Okay, well...
Terry does not mess around when he does layouts.
Yeah, the thing I noticed about this is there's a good feeling of depth of field, because there's a tendency a lot of times with establishing shots to really pull the camera back, and then as a result, the figures get really small, and you really lose the facial expression.
Anybody who is familiar with my work knows that I like to cram a lot of things into my pages. I tend to be very detail heavy. So if, as I would be working this up normally, you would have everything. You'd have the store, you'd have the truck in the background, you'd have power lines, there'd be a little Mexican woman across the street in the background somewhere. That's just the way that I work. For me, with the splash panel especially, it was more important that I establish the entire space, show what level of chaos is going on, try to make it a little, there are Mexican mummies running around with contemporary weapons, there's a little bit of absurdity to that.
Like, I've never been a really comfortable structure guy. When I'm at this stage, all I'm thinking about is trying to get everything that the script asked for set up. So this is less important as a final template. It's really like just putting something on a blank piece of paper, something to just work off of. My thought process is just to try to figure out a way that everything is potentially going to be set up. So when I take this to the next stage, I know that I want to put that truck in there with the sign on it, and I want to stage the people in some way, but to me, the important ones are all the ones who are speaking. So I want to try to find a flow. So that's what I do. I always figure out where balloons or where captions will go. And my point was to try to find a flow.
Okay, well, all I care about is the personal story. It's great that we're at a market, but I don't care about the market. I'm never coming back tomorrow or the day after, so I put the market in the background.
There's still rotting fruit. You go back.
There's rotting fruit, so... I think if it was a film, this close-up smash cut to the zombie face, it would be a close-up. It would be something that would be in your face. I guess that if it was the movie, then the panel right before it would be something really quiet, so that, ooh.
And the way Mike did it was he actually did it different than all the guys up here, which is interesting. He did the top panel as a wide shot, focusing on the mummy's face. Pull back is actually really kind of similar to the way these guys did it, but Mike is doing the Z thing here, so he does the panel goes up this way, then pulls back your attention to the foreground on the left side of the panel in the Z shape, and then he does the sort of they call those like cinematic shots. They're long panels, and so he focused on the girl's face, then the action in the second panel, and then kind of driving your attention right off the page is the utility cross coming right at you.